All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have one last race for you tonight, and that is going to come to you from the Spirit Caverns group. We've got Sigma versus Cereberon. My name is Vol'jin, and I'm here with Sonic Buster, and we're going to bring this match to you. Sonic, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic tonight, Vula.
That is awesome to hear. I'm also doing pretty well, and I'm looking forward to this match. We've got two really awesome runners here today, and we're going to see something fun. And I'm gonna let you go ahead and start and tell us what you know about Cereberon.
Well, forgive me. I'm bad at this.
Me too.
Yeah. It's cool. So, Cereberon is a good friend of mine who I've known for a very short time, which sounds kind of contradictory, but I promise you it's not. So it looks here like Cereberon does our clean water skip and is playing on keyboard and mouse. Gonna grab a bunch of health along the way. And oh yeah, that's right, is the 0 XP world record holder and is continually trying to convince me to run that, but I keep saying no.
You should start saying yes. It's a great category.
It sounds terrifying.
0 XP, of course, my pet category, so I'm really happy to have my boy Cereberon here representing it. And then on the other side, we've got Sigma. Now, go ahead, Sonic.
Nah, you're fine. We're gonna have Sigma also on keyboard and mouse, doing Grotto Cycle, which is a lot harder than it looks. Nah, it's just as hard as it looks. It looks really terrifying as well. Picking up just 5, I believe 5 health on this.
Yep.
So he's going to be doing some dangerous swimming today.
That's right. Sigma also, as you can see here, he's one of the top runners in the world. He is currently, I believe, position 11. And he's got one goal tonight. And that goal actually does not have a whole lot to do with Cereberon. His goal is to get a 29. Cereberon, of course, is a very skilled runner, and so is Sigma. And being realistic here, we're not super likely to see a very competitive race between the two of them unless something goes horribly awry. But Sigma is incredibly focused on his own play tonight. He's had a lot of very good runs recently. He wants to get that 29 today here in front of you all.
Ooh. 29, sub 30 hype. Let's see it.
Yeah, that would be very impressive. As far as Cereberon, he's been working pretty hard on his play, and in fact, he actually just got a PB earlier today, I believe.
So, are we looking at his correct PB now?
That is a great question that I'm sure someone will be able to figure out as we're going. But
right,
in the meantime, yeah. But in the meantime, we're going to get started momentarily. We're going to kick off the action here as both runners choose normal difficulty. This is a point we often gloss over as well, but we play all these speedruns on the normal difficulty because it is the most balanced and typically reflects kind of how we most like to play this game.
What are some of the differences if you were to say play easy mode or hard mode?
Well, they're pretty minor, but certainly noticeable if you were to do a speedrun. Easy, the big thing is that enemies have less HP. So, for example, there are certain strats where we make use of enemies by using the bash skill, and that would probably damage them too much on easy difficulty. In hard, you just take more damage from things, and abilities cost more to level up, so you just have to collect more points and so on. But that's all irrelevant. We're playing on normal here, so we're going to just make our way to the Spirit Flame and pick that up in the standard opening here. Sonic, of course, there's not too much to optimize during this first minute. So what do you kind of like to think about as you're playing this, this kind of repetitive part of the run?
Well, there's not a lot that you can optimize in this part, but there are definitely things that you can improve, but we're talking like 10 and 20-second improvements, which is kind of where I'm at right now. Like as they approach this little flower pad up here, like jumping on the edge of that allows you to move a little bit more quickly than if you jump on the center, but it's little tiny details like that that you need to focus on.
That's true. As we are coming here to this jump pad, both runners pretty much neck and neck. Not a huge surprise at this early stage of the run. Sigma taking off with just a tiny bit of a lead. and taking advantage of the scroll wheel shooting on his mouse to do a little bit faster killing of that bramble wall there, and of course setting up his XP and HP to do his ghost door in just a moment. Same thing coming from Baron as he is making his way here. Sigma takes the 1 HP death, nice and quick on the first take of damage there. Baron getting it as well, so good job by both runners so far. We're still pretty even.
Close. Right, I believe both of our runners are going to pick up the health here in Glades up at the top. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. It's obviously a valued source of safety, but even for a runner of Sigma's caliber who's within the top 15 runners in the world, you really want that 4th HP. It's just so nice. It costs on the whole about 3.5 seconds overall, so really not worth dropping that for a very long time, pretty much. So Sonic, when are you thinking of dropping the 4th HP?
Yeah, no. There are a couple of runners who have opted to drop that HP, and it's just Blackroot is such an intimidating part of the game that not having that extra HP in the early game can be a make or break thing, because death in BRB can cost you a lot of time.
That's for sure. As can a death on wall jump, which is a lot easier to take if you have only 3. But fortunately, both runners making it through cleanly, separated basically by the length of the skill acquisition animation there. So still pretty close, and Sigma is now going to make his way out. He's going to take his level up on the way out of here. He very specifically is going to want that because he needs a specific amount of XP to do his XP route called Slime Genocide.
Ah, yes, which is a brand new thing for me. I saw it for the first time just earlier today. So can you tell me a little bit about how that routing works?
Yeah, so there's all these slimes in Blackroot Burrows, and there's the typical XP route where most people will pick up a 100 XP orb inside BRB, and that will give them a level up, which they can then use the ability point from that to skip the darkness lifting cutscene at the end of the area. And then that also sets them up for Frankie Walk. What Sigma's going to do as he's coming here is he's going to manage his XP count very precisely. You notice he even killed that slime there. And he's also going to pick up this 15 here. And he's going to be killing a whole bunch of slimes inside Blackroot Burrows to replace that 100 XP orb. And that will actually save him about 4 seconds compared to the optimal strats not doing the genocide route. At least assuming his count is good, which I took a brief glimpse there, and I think it was good. He's at 17 shy of level, which I think is a number that he likes. So I think he should be okay. Both runners skipping this cutscene here, coming to BRB, and now the genocide begins as Sigma violently takes out his aggression on these slimes who really have done nothing wrong here.
Every last one of them just gone.
Probably not this one. He'll probably leave this one alive, so that it can tell its friends what happened.
You gotta leave a messenger. Oh, it's so weird not seeing him take that XP up above there. I see so many do that.
Yeah, and as a result of not taking it, he should get a better platform cycle as he arrives at the right side here. You can see these lasers. Ooh. Some trouble for Baron on this jump, huh?
It's a very difficult jump.
He does manage to make it up. You do also see that he does not have the magnet skill. He opted for Rekindle first, and that allows him to skip the XP drop by that slime. Sigma did get the platform cycle he wanted, so everything looks pretty good on his side. He's still got a few more slimes to kill, including this one here. Baron opting for the save and reload here gives him a slightly better platform cycle as well. And if you do that all optimally, again, it comes out about 4 seconds slower in total than the genocide route, which Sigma did. So really not that huge of a deal.
Well, how much would you say the routing affects your overall game in BRB?
Referring to the genocide route, I would
Yeah,
say it
genocide
makes.
route versus the above XP route.
Yeah, I would say that the genocide route makes BRB more about your overall movement and optimization, whereas the non-genocide version where you just get that 100 XP really kind of boils it down to that one jump. And if you do a save and reload, that save and reload and how good it is. So it's kind of a different type of challenge. Sigma making it look pretty easy. He seems to be making his way out on very good pace. So we'll see how this goes for him. Of course, Sonic, we're coming to everyone's favorite trick, the Frankie walk.
Oh yes, the best. Sigma here is going to go make friends with this Frankie up here, make him lots of promises, and hopes that he will follow him to a gate on the other side of the map here, using his energy to um, reload or refresh the energy cells he has available to open the door there. It sounds like a lot because it is. It happens very quickly, and it's also very, very easy to make a mistake. Actually, there's several ways to fail this. So let's hope that Sigma has everything in order and ready and organized and ready. I said ready twice, just because that's just how prepared you have to be for this.
You do need to be very ready, not just for this
He's
part
got
where
it.
he did get the door open, but he needs to be ready for this death gauntlet where everything can potentially kill him. Fortunately, he manages to dunk the Frankie into the water, luring him to jump off to his death, and he manages to get this death glide too, and
Ah,
gets on top of this crusher and collects an energy cell, jumps to safety, and even opts to delay his safety save until down here. So Sigma is safe. Baron working on his Frankie walk as well, not very far behind.
what kind of benefit does placing that safety save there award Sigma?
If he dies, he doesn't go back as far. That's pretty much it.
You know, I actually for the longest time have thought that that was part of what it took to get God Cycle there.
Yeah, as it turns out, no. I mean, there's no particular need for that safety save, but boy, it's scary to not have it. Sigma does get the early cycle back there. We kind of glossed over it, but Sigma made it look like nothing. Baron may be going for it soon. Sigma's going for his blind movement here. Let's take a quick look at Baron's screen.
Ah, so
Oh,
close.
that was very close. And on Sigma's screen now on the left, you see him all the way up the wall. He almost bonked on the spikes, managed to make it through safely. Sigma's on fantastic pace right now. Again, his goal tonight, he is focused on his own gameplay. He is not watching his opponent's stream. He wants to get a 29. That's all he wants.
Cereberon on his way to pick up double jump now. Heading down. Some swag movement there.
I looked away for like 1 second and Sigma got his first try grotto skip, so that was easy. We have Baron
Don't
going
look
for some
away.
blind movement now as well.
Gotta listen very carefully in order to make that movement work. Wow, and we're already up the wall.
That's a very nice
Great
shot
job,
by Baron.
Cereberon.
Yeah, he's clearly done, he's put in some serious work on this category, which does not surprise me given his track record with 0 XP. He took that category to, the distance basically and cut the hour, which is incredibly hard in that category. That is a not easy category, but, and a first try grotto skip for him as well.
I'm speechless. What can I say?
Grotto skip, of course, a trick that you do actually see in 0 XP as well, so he's pretty experienced in that one at least.
Timing this wall is actually pretty difficult that Cereberon's doing. Sometimes I still opt to jump to the other side. It's ever so tiny of movement to jump back there.
That's totally right. Those walls are all very finicky, as has been discussed in some of our other races today. Sigma is climbing this tree to pick up that ability cell, and is now going for the Swamp Teleporter. He's just trying to pull this rock out so that he can dash through a little nook there and get in to collect the Teleporter and make his way out safely. No damage taken, so he's in a good position to enter the Ginso tree with full health, I believe.
Makes it look easy. All right, doing a quick that's a rekindle skip there, so you can run ahead and jump. Put the I'm gonna say orb in the door during the cutscene.
And he is walking into the Ginso tree at just over 12 minutes, so he's doing very well. Baron is also doing very well. We got an update from our boys in the truck telling us that Baron is 50 seconds ahead of his PB. So that is very impressive from him.
Awesome. Baron making his way to activate that teleporter as well, while Sigma is headed to the puzzle room, teleporter room. What can you tell us about the teleporter room?
It's dumb and awful.
Oh, is that all? No big deal.
Brief moment of fear there, but he manages to escape without dying, which is the important thing. His HP will probably be fine now, and he actually wants to take some damage eventually. I don't know what he's doing there. He had a brief...
That's safe?
Yeah, he had a brief moment where he wanted to start pushing the log early, too. But fortunately, he did not, and he'll be fine on this cycle. And Baron now entering the Ginso tree just about a minute behind, which is still incredible pace for him, even if... like, again, we're expecting Sigma to be able to win this race, but what we're seeing from Baron is some really good early game performance, too. Very clean mini-boss performance by Sigma, not having much trouble at all getting through those cycles of the mini-boss with the mouse wheel shooting. Baron having a good job in these first two rooms so far. Sigma taking a death. Oh, wow.
Back to the mini boss.
That is incredibly disappointing. So again, that's not going to allow Cereberon to catch up yet, because the gap is still pretty substantial. But what that really probably means for Sigma is the 29 dream is most likely not alive anymore.
It's incredible how those, even a smaller death can be an upset as you get into those lower numbers.
Yeah, I mean, even if he had saved after the mini-boss, a single death with that much time cost could easily have just meant the end of the 29 dream. He can still pull out a very good time from this run. 29, unfortunately, likely not in reach. But that's alright, he's going to go for his best. He's still going to try to improve his best race time, which actually that will be very difficult as well, because his best race time is a 30:21, which is also ridiculously good.
That is incredibly good. And Cereberon right on his heels at this point, so hopefully we'll see a little bit, maybe we'll see a little bit of competition between these two today. I would love to see that personally.
I know Sigma wouldn't, but Baron would love to be able to compete with Sigma. So Baron is coming to the bash tree now, and he'll collect his probably one of his favorite skills in the game, since he does 0 XP a lot, in which you do not even get dash. So bash is kind of the main thing. And meanwhile, a clean key duplication for Sigma, so he's continuing to truck along. Only the one death as the only blemish on his run so far, otherwise he's playing fantastic. And we have another update on Baron from the truck, that he is a minute 4 ahead of his PB. That's incredible.
Fan-freaking-tastic. I love it. I love it. I really hope that both of them are able to have some big improvements in their runs today. That would be amazing.
Yeah, the way Sigma is playing, I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna get a gold segment on one or more segments. A gold means it's the fastest you've ever done that particular segment. I would not at all be surprised to see Sigma pull off one of those, but we'll see as he goes along, and we actually might not have the info, but Sigma probably does.
Hey, maybe the dream isn't dead yet. Perhaps. Choosing not to skip.
Yeah,
Swamp history there.
Yeah, this is one of those things he's kind of changed up recently. He's removed a couple things in his runs that save a small amount of time at just kind of the cost of, being a minor risk. Just because, what's the point in saving 1 second by skipping this movement here? Instead, just don't throw away the 1 second, but gain some consistency. He had some problems with the blind movement, so he threw that away. Baron, meanwhile, is going to make his way to Swamp Entry very soon. Sigma was incredibly clean while I was talking. Really, like, again, no mistakes from Sigma except the
Oh,
one
so
death.
easy. Anybody can do it. With practice and stuff.
Yeah. Practice in this game is definitely something. Sonic, how many hours would you say you've put into this game?
I've put about 430 or 450 hours.
Oh boy.
And
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near as good as either of these two yet.
Yeah, it's so hard. My count is somewhere up over 1,000, combining both vanilla
Wow.
and Definitive Edition. And yeah, even now, I
I
just don't.
didn't even think about vanilla hours. No, that's just DE hours.
Oh,
I consider
geez.
them pretty much different games.
Baron here getting his Swamp Entry first try, just like Sigma. So, even though Sigma's not making. Oh, good lord, Sigma. That may have been okay, yeah, no, this is definitely intentional. He took damage, but he needs to be at full health to collect this XP here.
Ah.
So the intentional deaths actually reset your save cooldown. That was all very intended, although he didn't want to take the damage, but the deaths were intended.
I have not seen that before. That's a new one on me.
But just kind of reminds you how, like how knowledgeable and experienced of a runner Sigma is, that he can just pull that out at any given time. A flawless Kuro cutscene skip from him first try, as you don't even know there's a cutscene there if you aren't, like, versed in the game. But he did manage to get the skip with a very precise bash. Baron taking a dip in the water on the way out of Swamp. But he hasn't taken a death yet. Gotta be careful there. Ooh, alright. Yeah, that's a death.
You do it! You do it! You talk! You do the thing! You're great.
Oh, thank you. You're great too.
Aww. Feel the love.
Meanwhile, this frog has not shown much love to Baron, but he does manage to get his ability cell this time. Sigma making his way up to the charge, from the charge flame tree to skip this spirit tree cutscene. He flubbed the dash glide, it looks like, yeah. So I have to do a little bit of walking, and Baron is on his Kuro cutscene skip. Look at that. First try, easy.
I haven't really done it yet. I've tried.
It's not an easy trick.
Nothing there is a fantastic thing. It's the only time when you can really say accomplishing nothing is a feat worth mentioning.
Very correct. And speaking of accomplishing nothing being a feat worth mentioning, it'll be really nice if Sigma can accomplish the feat of not taking any damage here. Takes one from the water. He grabs that fish underwater to bash, and it causes one tick of damage. You also see that Sigma has charged dash, which he collected as part of his XP route, the early charge dash route. You won't be seeing that from Baron, I believe. He'll just be going with the standard route that most people do, where you don't get charge dash until after Fast Stompless, which is what Sigma's doing right now. Fired that spider shot at a particular angle, makes it to the cell, and he gets the trick. Very nicely done.
Cereberon coming through with that's a save anywhere skip using an ability to skip that. I've only seen that myself a couple of times. So there are a lot of different ways you can skip that section there. I believe he's also going to be attempting Fast Stompless here in just a couple of seconds.
That would be great to see, as Sigma is making his way up to the top of the valley using a rocket jump. One of our favorite bits of tech in the run that you get to watch, just a charge dash upwards canceled by a jump. Now some bashes of this bird into this narrow corridor of spikes to make his way into Sorrow Pass. That is called the Cerebash, one of the hardest tricks in the run. Sigma making it
Makes
look
it easy.
incredibly trivial, that's right. And we're gonna cut Sonic. We're coming up on Baron's attempt at Fast Stopless. I know you've been chatting with him a lot lately. What do you know about his progress working on this and tricks like this?
Um, he's actually been pretty satisfied with his attempts at fast stompless. It's becoming more and more consistent. It's just one of those things. The more you do it, the more you do it, the more you do it, the more you do it. You know.
We are seeing him do it here. That shot angle looked pretty good, Sonic.
Good.
Oh, this shot's a little low, but he does get up to the lantern and gets the cell, and he missed the shot.
He missed the shot.
That's a shame,
Okay.
but
A bit of a time loss, but at least he has the cell. He'll be able to move on from there. Watching Sigma, he's currently doing a frick Terra break to, yeah, see if anywhere to break that ceiling there. Wow, just so fast. I can't keep up with him. I can't talk as fast as he's moving in this game.
And he was so fast, he actually nearly bonked his head on a laser cycle there, so he had to just stop for a fraction of a second. He managed not to die, though, so that's really important. And now he's making his way up to the Sunstone, and Baron making his way to the Feathers, so they're both kind of waiting for cutscenes at the moment. Update from the truck just regarding Sigma's PB pace. He obviously his goal was the 29 today. He's currently 33 seconds behind his PB. Not, unfortunately, super likely that he'll be able to make up 33 seconds in the rest of the game. I'm not sure that he even has that much margin, even if he played literally perfectly. So that's the status for him. Baron, meanwhile, got an update on his PB that he was actually a little bit behind. He had PB'd earlier today. Oshi got the updated splits and was able to correct that status. So he's not actually ahead of his PB, but could be after some clean performance the rest of the way.
Takes a death there at Cereberon. Meanwhile, Sigma, on his way through Misty, movement just completely fluid. It's so incredible. Once you have all of the abilities, minus climb and grenade, which are completely useless, as you know.
Oh man, let's look over at Cereberon's side right now. He tried to go for a whole bunch of bashes on that bird to try to salvage a messed up attempt, and almost did. Would have been very impressive if he did, but unfortunately it's very hard to salvage a messy Cerebash attempt. So we see him going up here again to set up for another try. Ooh, his birds are very far to the left. This is iffy.
Yes! Awesome!
Ooh.
It was so close. So nervous.
That was a great recovery, as you see on the replay there. Despite having his birds pretty far to the left, he was able to recover to get them into good position. And there you go. Sigma, having just picked up Climb, is making his way through the second half of Misty, which is a movement showcase. And oh no,
Cereberon back at rocket jump there.
Oh no. That is a really costly death as well. Cerepass, very, very rough after you've entered if you don't drop a safety save, and unfortunately Baron not doing so. Having some trouble with these birds too.
Meanwhile, Sigma making Misty look like nothing. Nothing's happening here. Except for everything. Everything.
Oh god.
Okay.
That was pretty close. Sigma taking a bit of damage from that meatball shaft. Makes a save afterwards to recover some of that health. So he's back at 3. Goes for the bang zoom quick kill. Doesn't quite pull it off, but he does take out the mini bosses pretty quick. Baron just having a really rough time with Cerebash right now, unfortunately, on his side. And given how cleanly he was playing, it's really unfortunate to see this because, you know, like, everything else in this run has been really good for Baron so far. It's just this one trick that is, again, the hardest trick in the run probably. But unfortunately, you know, that's not much comfort to him right now.
Yeah, I would say that there are three sections here that really can make or break your game. Cerebash is one of them. Swamp entry that we saw earlier is one of them. and I'm thinking I'm missing one. I am definitely missing one. You know what? I'm gonna say Blackroot. Like, Blackroot is also a make or break section of this game. Like, I'd say those are
Oh,
probably the three hardest.
Baron making it in again. Really needs to not die this time. And Sigma making that optimal cycle.
No, Baron.
That's unfortunate, to say the least. Sigma making his way into the grenade tree. Baron grabbing that bird very low, but it floats up and he's able to recover it.
Come on, save.
This is the third time. Please make safety save. Please, Baron. Yeah, what she said. Baron, please. Please, Baron.
Sigma on his exit headed to Horu Fields.
Manages to make the optimal laser cycles there, get the rocket jumps. That looked beautiful.
Clean.
Sigma's movement, just everything about this run has been a clinic for him. If it weren't for that one death marring it, this absolutely would be the 29 pace. As it is, he's on very good pace right now. We'll see what he's able to pull off as Baron does make it through and he collects charge jump. So he's good to go into the next terrifying area of the run.
Sigma! Taking a bit of damage there at the entrance. Oh, no!
Gosh.
No, Sigma, no!
It's an epidemic of really unfortunate deaths happening at this point. Just Sigma taking the one there, and Baron, of course, having the promise of Sarabash. You see Baron working on his Terror Break right now, as Sigma coming back to that same spot. This time he manages to get the jump over the terrifying lava mabobber thing. Yeah, that.
Stuff that is red and below, but also sometimes above.
So this pace is really ludicrous. He is still potentially on like low 31 pace, which is still better than the vast majority of times anyone in the tournament has achieved. In a no reset situation, that's really impressive. Of course, Door Warp stands in the way. Door Warp. Door Warp. Frame perfect trick. The worst. Baron's making his
coming out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of Sarabash here, make his way over to this bird here, and donkey kick to the bottom, entering Misty Woods here with all of those added abilities, added speed, added excitement.
There's a very well executed donkey kick by Baron, and Sigma now, he managed to get Door Warp the instant we stopped talking about him, so I guess it was the pressure. But now he's going to work on the final escape here. So follow along with him for just a few moments as he's going to quickly navigate this area, dodge that lava pillar, break this vertical barrier with a charge flame, make his way into the death swim, as it were. He's got 5 health. This thing deals 1 damage a second. There's 2. That's 3. That's 4, and he makes it out.
Beautiful. More of not seeing things that is good.
That's right.
Crow usually spawns there at the bottom. We're gonna see G-jump first try. Awesome, Sigma.
Easy. Frame perfect tricks not giving Sigma any problem in this run. Disregard the end or warp attempts.
That was our fault. Commentator's curse, you know.
That's right, but Sigma is going to wrap up with a very, very good final time still, despite the door warp failures and despite the 2 deaths, and that was pretty much the entirety of the blemishes on his run here today. He's going to be able to come out with about a 31-30.
You just gotta hold right for a few seconds here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There it is, GG Sigma, 31:28, his confirmed final time. So he will take the victory in his group stage match here, but unfortunately will not be able to get the 29 he wanted. Of course, being able to do that on a no reset run would sure as heck have been something, but you know, you definitely can't fault him for having a couple mistakes in that type of situation.
Oh, absolutely not. And congratulations on the win, Sigma.
Meanwhile, Baron is still having a very good run. He's trying to get that save down as he picks up the keystone. Does manage to do it now. And see some fun stuff from him here, will we? Alright, no rocket jump there. Nah, he opted to go for a little more of the safer route. Oh, that's a 0 XP strat right there. Instead of charge dashing up to that Frankie, he bashed it upwards once and then just waited for it to fall. That is definitely a 0 XP strat.
I'm so glad that I have you to point that out to me.
See, you gotta learn this category, then you'll know those things.
Like, I have no idea what's happening, but that was pretty cool.
Oh, good lord!
Don't do it, Baron! Don't do it! I mean, do it! Do it really, really, really fast, but don't die doing it. Going now to pick up grenade.
Not dying.
Not dying. I am so glad.
Still really solid pace for Baron. I'm guessing PB pretty out of the reach at this point, but because you know his PB is actually pretty solid. But that said, he can have a pretty okay performance overall here, and he can still come out with a pretty solid time if he's able to, you know, maintain a pretty good pace the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Not a bad run at all. Just a little bit of trouble there at Sorrow for Baron, and a little bit of trouble for Sigma early in the game there.
Yeah, a little bit is definitely the correct statement. You know, both really both Sigma and Baron making almost no mistakes for a very significant part of the run. Sigma having the one death being the only blemish for a very long time, and then just at the very end, you know, I guess in the middle-ish, Baron having some Sarabash troubles, and Sigma having the one death going to Horu, but that was pretty much it between the both of them for most of this run. And Baron does actually still have a chance to improve his best tournament race time, which would still improve his opportunity for bracket seeding. So we'll still
do it, Baron, do it.
Wanting to make sure he gets a good finish here. And with the help of both you and all y'all in chat, maybe he can do it if you give him your energy.
Your energy! Do it now, or you'll pay some kind of price much later at an unspecified time.
Something will happen for some reason to somebody.
Murphy's Law.
Alright, Baron manages to make it out of Blackroot Burrows, and he will just be making his way to Mount Horu to begin the final escape. We'll see how this goes.
Obey the law.
I am the law.
No!
My best, very bad Judge Dredd.
That was a good attempt. I will give you an A for effort. Or is it an E for effort? There we go.
Probably should be worse than that. So Baron, I believe, already having 6 HP as a result of picking up the cell in Blackroot Burrow, so he's good to go for the end of the escape here, and won't need to pick up any more cells.
Let's see if we can get first try door warp. Who thinks he's gonna get first try door warp? I think he's gonna get first try door warp because you've all given him all of your energy. He cannot be failed.
Well, judging by the track record we have with Sigma, what I'm going to say is take a look on the left side of the screen. You can see the credits scrolling by. I see Michael Beekart and Simon Eichwolf Mate in there as, hey, Baron gets first try. See, it works. Of course, the two names I called out being the names of Onan, who's a prominent member of our community, and Eichwolf, of course, who is one of the legendary runners of this game back in the past. His time still a 33:36, still a mark that newer runners aspire to be able to beat as a goal because it's such a good time still after all this time. But here's Baron on his final escape. Had a good go of it so far. No problems with the lava pillar back there. No problems with the vertical wall there.
Not even one hit coming through here. You have to go back to the beginning. All right, that's 1, 2, 3. Wow. 4.
All right. Yeah, that would have been
awesome. Didn't even need the 6.
That's right. He would have been fine with 5, but that's totally fine. The safety is good. He's setting up for his grenade jump. He's going to line up the angle, do the frame perfect input. Does not get it, and he opts to just finish up the run. So GG to Baron. He'll be wrapping up around a 38:40 something.
GG, Baron. Oh no, wait. There we go.
No,
okay, my heart every time. I'm like, no, how can you soft lock when you didn't even do grenade jump?
No, yeah, that black screen just lasts slightly longer than you might expect.
Oh man. Ever since learning that and having soft lock the game, like that paranoia is too real. All right, we just gotta hold right for a bit. Go say hello to the giant chicken up here.
Crop. That's right, and just a little bit more holding right, and Cereberon will bring an end to both his run and our day with 11 hours of Ori races finally coming to an end.
What a day.
It sure has been something. But here we go. Baron taking his final couple steps. You'll get a final time for him.
And there we are.
Momentarily.
Unofficially a 38:45 for Baron there.
Yep, that time is confirmed. So GG to Baron. That will improve his best tournament race time so far. And of course not be enough to defeat Sigma's 31, but still a very good performance by both runners today.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job, you guys.
And now we are joined by Sigma, the victor today. Of course, Sigma, I'm going to start with the obvious question. You said your goal today was to get a 29. Obviously, that kind of came to an end a little bit early. So the question is, kind of how did you treat the race after that point?
Well, funny enough, that death in Ginso didn't kill the 29. So I was still really trying hard after that. I was thinking, okay, I could still do this. I could believe that the 29 would have a 37-second long death in it. And then, that quickly killed it after that. But, there was a dream for, the next 2 splits, at least.
Oh, man. I mean, obviously, going for, a PB attempt in a race situation where you don't get to reset literally at all, is a little bit, it's a little bit ambitious. Tell me honestly, how seriously did you believe that you had a chance to get it?
Well, I was feeling really good about it. From double jump to Ginso. My early game was kind of weak because I don't know, wall jump was it was bad. But then every split past that was really, really good. I hit Ginso at 12:02, which is insanely good for me. And then, after that it was pretty hopeless, but
yeah. that did occur. I guess overall, obviously you're 2-0 now. You have 1 match left against the other top player in this group, Smashy. Taking your 2 races against Baron and Clean, but against your remaining opponent, Smashy, obviously, pretty close behind you, but also still a couple minutes. How do you approach that race?
I am just gonna try to get a 29 again and hope it works better than this time.
What if you have a 29 by then?
Get a better one.
All right, you heard it from the man. Sonic, I
Go
think we
for
could
it.
bring one more guest in as well.
Well, let us bring in the Baron. Hello, Baron.
Welcome in, Baron.
How we doing?
That's our question, dude. How you doing?
I love Sorrow Bash. One more time, please.
Those birds love you.
It's the
So-
funniest thing during practice. It just went perfectly.
What did you do to convince them to help you get up into Sorrow Pass there?
I had to feed them multiple times.
Oh, what did you feed them?
Fresh meat.
Questionable. Yeah, fresh meat. Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, when you start having problems like that, and you kind of get infinite on trick like that, how did you kind of recenter yourself to get that trick?
I went back to the previous way to do it. My new way to do it is just shooting straight up without that safety save. But in the end, I needed it.
Did you give any thought to placing a safety save inside Sorrow after the first time you got it, and then subsequently,
No,
died?
it was my own hubris to go and try to rocket jump off of the frog after breaking the wall. I should not have done that. I already had damage, and I wasn't thinking about it.
Just went all in.
Again, if I had remembered the damage, I wouldn't have done it. But it was a bad error on my part.
Well, overall, you still managed to improve your best race time by a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And you've got one match left against Cleanfell. Basically, the winner of that match will be third place in the group, and the other person will be the fourth place finisher. And I guess same question for you that we kind of addressed to Sigma. How are you going to approach that match when you get there?
Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun. I've actually been delaying playing with Cleanfell until last. I wanted to give him as much time as possible to sort of improve, so it would be a great race.
Oh man, listen to that confident statement there. What makes you think that Clean isn't gonna, he's waiting
Clean
for you to
house.
get that air?
Hey, he could suddenly surpass me. You never know. If I'm not playing my best, I should be worried.
Oh man. Well, it was a fun match to watch from both players. Sigma, of course, I look forward to watching your 29 when it comes in the very near future, be that in your race against Smashy or, just not in a race context.
Thank you.
Right,
Sonic,
great
any
job,
final
both of you.
thoughts?
I am so proud of both of y'all. Good race. Those are
Yep.
really my final thoughts. I am really looking forward to both of your next masses. Yes, that is what I'm looking for. Your next matches. Both Sigma here with Smashy and Baron with Cleanfell. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be interesting. I especially looking forward to this race actually between Baron and Cleanfell because their times are actually relatively close, and I like to see a good challenge, and it looks like it might be.
Yeah, I agree. This group has been pretty entertaining so far, and we've seen some really good performances, especially Smashy's PB earlier today of 33.05 in her race was very impressive. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Again, thank you both for joining us, Sigma and Baron. Sonic, as always, thank you for joining on commentary. It was a great pleasure.
Always great serving with you also, sir.
And we're going to finally call it a night. And as we do, I want to make sure to give huge shout outs to our two restreamers for today, Richard and Meldon, who covered 11 hours of races between the two of them, each of them taking a very long block. So you guys did an awesome job. Also, of course, yeah, that's right. And of course, thank you to all the people who have done stats and commentary today, and anyone who has been helping out in any other way as well as all the races. You guys have all been awesome. We're looking forward to more action tomorrow morning, again at noon Eastern. That's morning for me. That's anyway, noon Eastern time. Xavier will be going up against Raziel, and he'll be looking to Xavier will be looking to improve upon his performance from this morning, while Raziel will be looking to maybe get a 29 of his own. So we'll be back there for that. But until then, have a good night, everyone.
$200 XP orb and another one to level up early and to get charge dash early on your way into them.
Alright, I wasn't actually certain of that.
The precise position, bashing it at a precise angle. Now he's going to be making his way up to the sill, using Stomp to stall in midair, and he gets fast Stomp his first try.
Missing these. They're so close each time. Is this the one?
Yes!
There we go. All right.
There we
Outstanding.
go.
Oh, looks good. Nice, dude. All right. Congratulations.
And we'll see if he's able to do it as well.
While he's doing that, we can check if Smash is gonna get the Grot cycle and Grotto. She waits a little bit, jumps up, and she gets through. That's a big time save for her.
Took some damage, did throw one down. She's doing fast Stompless right now. She's trying to race that shot before it breaks. A cutscene trigger. She's trying to get over here to grab a cell.
Looks like it is. She got it.
And
To death, and that's gonna send him. Wow! Oh, he rekindled at the same.
He literally rekindle on that save as he was going by. That's really cool. I like doing that one like he's going actually.
Richard! And now this swimming section is really difficult with the 5 health. Alright, he gets the bash off of the fish. So yeah, he gets through, but upcoming here is
He's spawned Crow!
Oh,
He
he
died!
takes a death! Richard is in the lead! No, they're tied! Richard just died as well!
What?
This is really his time to line it up. Fails the first grenade jump, but Simon furiously working through the final escape to try and catch up. Richard gets
Richard
it
did
and
it.
doesn't
He
stop
did it.
block. Unbelievable! It came down to the final escape. First try door works.
Pay attention to the left here first. I'd say Rufus is going to be bashing some of these boulders up. He has to take his attempt at
200 XP orb and another one to level up early and to get charge dash early on your way into them.
Alright, I wasn't actually certain of that.
The precise position, bashing it at a precise angle. Now he's going to be making his way up the using Stomp to stall in midair, and he gets fast Stomp his first try.
Missing these. They're so close each time.